First of all, our concept of masculinity always comes from our culture. It comes from the society in which we're raised. So once you realize that, then you can begin to question what you think is is a good or a bad aspect of that cultural definition of masculinity. Universal definitions of masculinity all have to do with basically getting shit done, right? Like the masculine is the doer. The masculine is the thrust. The masculine is the driving force. The feminine is the accepting, the including, the you might even think of like the planning, the planning and looking at things from like the 10,000 foot view. That's more of the feminine side of things, and everybody has a mix of masculine and feminine. But universally, masculinity can be about going, having that oomph, having the ability to set goals and achieve them, right? But other cultures add a bunch of other stuff into it, some of it not being very helpful. For example, in a lot of Latin cultures, part of being masculine means being jealous. Like, being jealous and restrictive about what your woman is able to do and how she acts with other men and stuff like that. And men will feel less masculine if they allow their woman to flirt with another guy, even if it's like her best friend from high school that she's never going to sleep with and never has and never would, but they have these little playful whatever. No, you can't do that. I'm blah, blah, So we have to decide for ourselves once we're mature enough, what are the beneficial aspects of masculinity that we want to pursue? And then which of those things can we do internally? Because that's the thing. That's a lot of those pickup artists. That's the trap that they fall into. They go, wow, I feel like a man as long as I'm always fucking a new girl. Well, you've basically just put yourself on the treadmill for the rest of your life. If you don't constantly fuck new women, then your opinion of yourself drops through the fucking floor, and that's a really fucking fragile ego. That's a fragile ego state, right? Yeah. So instead you say, well, what makes me masculine that I can do inside? And the simplest thing, you've already discovered it, the simplest thing is being true to yourself, expressing how you truly feel. You said, I usually don't say these things. As soon as I said them, I felt really good about myself. Well, yeah, because you were true to yourself in a public, demonstrative way. Basically, with the masculinity, set goals and accomplish them. Do difficult shit. That's an internal way. Now, the action is still external. You still have to take a real world action to build the thing, accomplish the thing, create the thing, overcome the thing, whatever. But nobody else, no other human being, and no other human being's opinion is the reason that you're doing it. That's how you know that it's virtuous. And one of the things, there's actually a great discussion of what makes something mature and what makes something virtuous in Mark Manson's latest book, Everything is a Book About Hope. And I love his discussion of this. So basically, infant or childish motivation is purely self-centered. It's purely self-motivated. When we're children, we don't have empathy, or at least we don't have the same degree of empathy as we have when we're older. And so it's always me, right? And it's either when you're an infant, it's me, and I don't give a shit about what anybody else thinks. So yeah, I'm gonna cry at the funeral. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking piss my pants while you're holding me because I'm not capable of thinking of anything else like that. As you get a little bit older, you realize certain behaviors get certain results. So you do, oh, if I cry, I get this. And if I'm nice, I get this. So it becomes transactional. And that's an intermediate level of maturity. That's like middle school, high school, right? Where you're like, I'm not going to cheat on my girlfriend because I don't want to get caught, right? I'm going to follow the laws because I don't want to go to jail. I'm going to be a good person because God is watching, right? That is not virtuous behavior. That is immature transactional behavior, but it's still a step on the process. When we get to maturity and adulthood, and we start saying things like, I'm going to follow the law because I want to be a good person. I'm going to be the way that I am because I want to be a good person. The way that you behave when you don't think anyone's watching, that's virtuous or not, right? So basically we always want to ask ourselves, would I be taking this same action to the same degree if I didn't think I was going to get credit for it, or avoid some negative outcome or get some positive outcome? If you're taking the action regardless of the outcome, then you're at least being a little bit virtuous. And that's where we want to take our action from, a place of virtue, not a place of avoiding fear, not a place of trying to manipulate the outcome, but virtue. So if you can find that, you can layer that on top of the things that make you feel masculine, the things that make you money, and the things that get you laid. And that's how you know you can be a good person, own all of your activities, and be sure that you're always attracting the right people into your life and automatically repelling the wrong ones.